Hey there, Dr. Angela Mulrooney here. I hope you're having an amazing day. I have been asked an awful lot lately about brand development during the pandemic. People are wondering if they should just be sitting back on their laurels, letting fate take care of everything, or actually stepping forward and taking action. I always recommend taking action. Not only is it going to make you feel better, it's also going to give you the ability to thrive when all this is said and done. Because eventually this thing called pandemic is going to be over and it's going to go away and we will get back to practice as usual. But if you haven't taken care of your brand, if you haven't stayed top of mind for your patients, then when it's over, your patients might be looking over the fence and seeing some other shiny object, another dentist who put time into their marketing. And so now they are remembered by your patients instead of you. What a shame that would be. So right now you have time on your hands to invest in working on your practice in so many ways. And one of the things you should be doing is thinking about your brand on your social media platforms. Your brand really is what people think your brand is. So you can try to craft the perfect website, the perfect logo, the perfect piece of content, the perfect tagline. But if it is not perceived well, all that perfection doesn't matter. Now, the person who best summed this up was Jeff Bezos, who is the founder of Amazon. So he knows a little bit, just a little bit about branding. And he said, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Blech. That's an awful feeling, isn't it? Having people talk about you? But it is the truth. How you are perceived is more important than how you perceive yourself. But using social media to portray your brand gives you control. And don't we all love control? If you're telling me you don't love control, you might be lying. Social media allows you to put your brand forth in a way that allows you to cultivate the story about your practice. It allows you to cultivate what people perceive as your expertise. It allows you to shine a light on whatever you want to shine a light on. It is a marketing platform like we have never seen before, and it gives you so much ability to be seen. But you need to figure out what your brand is and how you want that brand to be put out there before you really start stepping full throttle into your social media. So how do you make your brand something memorable? Well, you need to figure out what it really is about. You need to figure out who you are as a practice, who you want to serve, what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. What is it that allows you to get up every morning and put one foot in front of the other to move towards your dream? When I ask people that, a lot of times dentists tell me, never thought about it. I bought a practice because, well, it was what I was supposed to do next in my career. And so they bought the practice and then they started chasing the bills. They started chasing their patients. They started chasing their team. And that long-term vision of what they wanted to be and where they're trying to go just kind of disappeared. Now's the time to think about that. Maybe with all this time off that you've had the realization that what you were doing isn't really working for you. It doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you feel fulfilled. It doesn't make you feel like you're contributing to the world. So that's why it's time to get back to looking at your brand. Your brand also is supported by your expertise, your experience, your passion, and your personality. You can't be remarkable unless you are true to who you are. You need to own what you do that is amazing, realizing some of the things that you don't do that are amazing as well, but you need to really acknowledge what makes you you. Part of that is that combination of those 4 things. The last 2, passion and personality, are actually the most important because no one else can replicate that. They can go and get the same certifications, they can get the same amount of time practicing those skills, but they're not going to have the same personality, they're not going to have the same passion as you do, no matter how hard they try. And you need to get comfortable with those 2 things because those 2 things are actually the scariest things to put forth. Experience and expertise are pretty easy for you to measure. Personality and passion, not so easy. But those are the 2 things that are going to attract the right kind of people to you. They're going to allow you to stand out in the marketplace. So what makes you feel passionate? What is it that you love doing day in and day out, that if you could only pick 1 or 2 things in your practice, would you do it till you retired? If you can think about what those 2 things are, that's where your passion lies, and that's what you need to start highlighting. Because let's be honest, people would much prefer to go see someone who is extremely passionate about something than someone who is bored by something. If I were to have to choose between 2 different accountants, and there was Little Miss Sunshine who is so excited about saving you taxes and sticking it to the government, would you choose her, or would you choose the one who is bored by accounting and really doesn't seem interested in their job? Most people would pick the person who's excited, the one who is passionate about what they do. Your patients feel the same way. If you are really excited about a skill and they happen to need that skill for themselves, they want to go to you instead of the one who is bored. But if they don't know that you're passionate about it, what is it going to really matter? They're not going to be able to find you. They're not going to know that that is what makes the juices flow for you. And your personality is another thing. No one is going to have the same personality as you. And if you can really let your personality shine and let people into your world and see what really makes you tick, that's going to help win over people as well. People like to find people that they can relate to. But if you're very measured in what you're saying and kind of boring, maybe a little bit too politically correct, that's not going to get people wanting to come and see you. Because you're going to seem like a stick in the mud. But if you can kind of let your guard down a little bit, step off your perfectionist pedestal, and be a real, living, breathing human being that they might be able to have a great conversation with, they're going to choose you over the stick in the mud. So as you start thinking about your brand and how you're going to put it out there on social media, I want you to think about those things that make you unique. What is the expertise that you have? What is the experience that you have? What is the personality that you can show? What is the passion that you can show that will get people seeing what you're really about? And that will give you ultimate control over your brand. That will help you to thrive when all this chaos is over and your patients are allowed to return back to your practice. Until next time, I wish you a beautiful day, and I will see you again very soon.